even though this might look like it should be past the, you know, awkward length, it still doesn't want to go into a proper ponytail without having bits sticking out the side of my head everywhere. So, in its untamed stage as it is now, we're gonna have to deal with sort of the semi-emo fringe on the side of my head. Maybe next month or in another month, I don't know, June, May, June, somewhere among those lines, I can actually have a ponytail for the first time, which would be quite nice and about time. Let's get April 2018 started. Hello people of YouTube and welcome to the monthly review of April 2018. Before we actually get started, what do you think of that new intro that just played? The little round thing that has a vague resemblance to the Japanese flag. That was unintentional, but it kind of happened. I'm quite a fan of it. I'm sort of overhauling the whole Tom branding thing. So my Twitter, my main channel, my second channel, and my website all have this sort of same logo and colors and fonts and that sort of thing. I think it's quite nice. Anyway, let me know what you think of the new branding stuff in the comments below. Now to actually and finally head into the video, I want to start with a bit of a flashback. A flashback to May of 2015. On the 1st of May, or I think it was the 1st of May, it was really early in May at least, I met Lisa. Lisa is an Australian girl who has lived and traveled around Europe for quite some time now. And she is the first friend that I met on social media, Twitter to be exact, that came to sleep over at my house. The girl you can see in the picture right here is Lisa, and in the next picture that is me and Lisa, and this was probably one of the most interesting pictures that I ever took with my fisheye camera. So that Lisa, my very first internet friend who stayed over at my house and who I met face to face, and I had a bit of a Skype call at the start of April, and it was just absolutely lovely to catch up. It's been too long since we Skype. We Skype at very, very irregular intervals, and the last time must have been about a year to a year and a half ago. Too long. Anyway, if anyone was wondering, we are still good friends, and when we talk it's as if nothing has changed at all, even though so much time has passed since then. And it was just very, very lovely catching up. Hello, sorry for the abysmal lighting. This was a very impromptu film idea. I haven't done this in a while. I used to do this sort of interlude during the early days of my monthly reviews, but not so much anymore, but you know, kind of fun. So it is April the 10th, and I just want to talk for a very short amount of time and tell you that we have done a shit ton of baking this month, which is why the kitchen is the background. You can't see it because that's just a white blob over there, but you know, we've done a lot of baking. It's only the 10th, and so far this month I have made cinnamon buns, I have made cookies, I have made spring rolls. Signe has baked brownies, which are absolutely delicious, although Signe doesn't seem to think so. And currently I am baking a thing that is called skolebolle in Norwegian, which is basically a sweet bread with like an eggy vanilla cream in the middle. Very, very tasty. The reason that Signe doesn't find these tasty, by the way, the brownies, is because they're not actually brownies. They were meant to be brownies, but they turned out to be just sort of cake because they were in the oven too long. And I absolutely love that because I'm not a big fan of brownies, which is sacrilege, I'm aware. But you know, my dough for the skolebolle has arisen, and I will process them now and put them in the oven and put some B-roll of the skolebolle over this. Cheers. And continuing on with the theme of foreign friendships, I went to visit Ailey in Scotland for 10 days this month. On the 13th of April, I flew from here in Trondheim to Stavanger and then to Aberdeen. My 10 days in Scotland were lovely as always. The Gauss are such a nice family, and we had a few fun activities as well. We went to see Love, Simon in the cinema in Aberdeen. I'm not going to say anything about the plot or the story or whatever, but just wow. Just a very nice, lovely, make you feel all glowy on the inside type of film. Do absolutely go and watch it. Another thing we did is we had a bit of a photo shoot. We here implying Ailey, Ailey's sister Louise, and me being the photographer. And why I'm mentioning this is because it's a bit special. I absolutely love photography, but I don't really tend to go out of my way to actually go locations and shoot portraits and, you know, actually put in an effort into my photography. Which sounds a bit sad, but like my priority has always been making videos and filming everything that's happening instead of taking photos of the moment. And sometimes it's kind of nice to actually have sort of an organized idea of something that you're shooting rather than just following people around with a filming camera. So I shot a total of 87 raw photos, of which I selected 27 that were nice enough to edit. You'll see them on the screen right now. I absolutely love some of them. They turned out really nicely, and I'm really happy that we just went out and shot some photos. Speaking of photography and videography and all that sort of fun stuff, for most of my 10 days in Scotland, I got to use Ailey's Sony a7S Mark II. For the ones of you that don't really have a concept of cameras and that sort of thing, let's just say this camera is a completely other league than the camera I'm filming this on. This camera is a Canon EOS 600D, which is a 5-year-old entry-level camera. And the a7S Mark II that Ailey has is a sort of almost $3,000 mid-level camera that's a lot newer than this camera as well. So completely different league. So lovely to work with. I haven't actually looked at the footage at the moment I'm recording this yet, so I can't say anything about the actual footage quality, but just by the way the camera handled and what I could see through the screen and through the viewfinder, I'm going to assume that the footage is of higher quality than what I can get with this one. And what I can get with this one is already pretty alright. You feel a bit watched, which is weird. Never really have people filming me, I'm always the one filming people.
Yeah.
It's this one.
Yeah, I don't know, I normally just wait and see what one turns red.
Nope, it's not that one. Is it that one?
Probably.
Perfect. Hello, Scotland update. I went for a bit of a hike and my phone is all I have with me, so I cannot guarantee that the video quality or the audio quality of this will be any good. I do apologize. I am filming this in 4K and hopefully when I scale it down in editing to 1080 it'll look somewhat decent, but again, I have no idea what this is going to look like. I don't even know what the framing is going to look like because I'm filming this with the front camera. Either way, like I said, I went for a bit of a walk. It is currently Saturday, I think the 20th or 21st, I'm not sure how dates work, it's fine. I arrived here on Friday a week ago, and in that week, most of what I have been doing is sitting inside playing Call of Duty with Ailey, doing a bit of language learning, doing a bit of video editing, that sort of thing, but I haven't been outside that much. And today, I finally felt like it was definitely time for me to get some fresh air into my body. So I decided to go for a bit of a hike. This hike, however, turned out a tiny bit longer than what I anticipated on doing when I left the house, hence my complete unpreparedness. I am currently finding myself at about 850-ish meters above sea level, which is relatively high for the land of Scotland, I suppose. Ailey's village is all the way down there. I will show you a bit of an overview shot of that. And yeah, it's... When I started hiking, I was just like, I'm gonna get some fresh air, gonna be out for 15 minutes. It's currently probably been about 45 since I left the house, and I also need to walk back down. So, yeah, a tad longer, but hey, The weather is nice. I'm having a good time. I'm not dying of thirst yet, so the lack of water is not killing me yet. I'm doing okay, and I'm having a fun time. It is one more day that I'm staying here. I'm staying here for Sunday, tomorrow, and I'm flying back home to Trondheim in Norway on Monday. And now I am indeed home again. And that brings us relatively well up to speed, because the 23rd hasn't been that long ago. I'm recording this on the 27th. But the thing that did happen since I returned from Scotland is that Signe and I went to the Trondheim premiere of Avengers: Infinity Wars. Holy shit, is all I really have to say about it at this point. Again, just like with Love, Simon, I'm not going to go into the story or spoilers, plot, whatever. But it was good. It was exceptional. And it plays with your emotions so much and so just harshly and adequately. Incredibly well done, incredibly well balanced film. Not quite the ending I was expecting, but I very much assume that at some point in the Marvel Universe future, it will all be fine again. The ones of you who have seen it will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, Avengers: Infinity Wars, go and watch it as well. And then, surprise, surprise, I have a favorite for this month. I haven't had any favorites for 2 months, but this month I have a favorite, and it is the PlayStation, wait for it, 3. The PlayStation 3. So during my time in Scotland, Ailey and I played a lot of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Sounds a bit similar to Avengers: Infinity Wars. Anyway, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, for the ones of you who don't know, is just a sort of generic shooter. But it's a lot of fun to play on local multiplayer, and that's what Ailey and I have spent a lot of time on while I was in Scotland. Now, we here don't have a PlayStation 4. We have an Xbox One, which is absolutely nice. But we don't have a PlayStation 4, which means that Ailey and I could not play Call of Duty together over a longer distance than sitting next to each other on the sofa. So a thing that very unexpectedly happened is that the Gao family gifted us a PlayStation 3. They had 2 PlayStation 3s just standing around that they had gotten as hand-me-downs from an uncle and weren't really using. Again, because Ailey has a PlayStation 4, so why would she use a PlayStation 3? But basically, what these 2 PlayStation 3s would allow us is to play online with each other. So in order to achieve that goal, I got a PlayStation 3. Ailey now has the other PlayStation 3 that they already had operational, and we can actually play Call of Duty together. Now, obviously, we can't play Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which is a shame because that is quite a fun one. But we have Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one, and we have Modern Warfare 2 as well. So a lot of Call of Duty can be played henceforth. That was a very fancy English word. I don't use that sort of vocabulary on a daily basis. Good. And that, I'm afraid, is going to be it for the monthly review of April 2018. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to randomly push some of the positive buttons down below, and I will see you next time. Ciao!